guys, it's Laura Alexandra for KVM Magazine, and today I'm here at HMV's Oxford Street because I'm going to be chatting to a British singer-songwriter. Made it through to the X Factor finals back in 2012. She's already had a top 10 album and she's just released her third called We Are on the 4th of May. She's right now in the middle of a tour. I've been lucky enough to have her right here. I'm very excited to be talking to her. Lucy Spraggan, welcome.
Push the anchor off me.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm slightly tired, but how are you doing?
I'm very, very well. I was just going to say, I mean, you know, you are 23 years old and you've already achieved so much, and I forgot to mention, obviously, this album is released through your own record label as well, CTRL. So talk to us a little bit about what's coming up for you next.
I think we're just sort of moving really at a nice pace with the album. The midweek has just come out today and it's sitting at number 17 today in the midweek, so we're just hoping to keep sort of pushing up and moving forward. We're looking at some international stuff too, and the touring. I think the cool thing about having my own record label is that the expectation, the only person's expectation that I've got to reach is mine, and quite a nice feeling.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I mean, going back now, because I know lots of people that are fans of the magazine as well will want to know about X Factor. It's kind of inevitable. So going back to X Factor and what happened, I mean, obviously you had to drop out through illness. How did you feel about that at the time? You know, looking back on that, was that kind of a blessing in disguise, or?
I think everything you've got to take kind of like that. Like, you know, a lot of people that get voted out of competitions like that then become slightly almost bitter about the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you leave a job. I mean, if you get fired, you're always going to be pretty annoyed at those people if you make redundant. If you leave, you have your work party, you know, you say goodbye to everybody and it's fine. And I think the only person, that it matters to really is how I feel, and I feel quite good about it.
Awesome.
And like, to be honest, I think most people know that, like, with regards to like the whole fame thing, I'm not that great at it. It's I mean, I enjoy meeting new people and I enjoy having a great time, but I can't say that the like the photos and just everything, it was weird.
But I think I was going to say, going back to that time as well, and you know, I first met you on another tour as well, and back in those days, you know, a few years ago, I remember seeing you as my guest act, and you were there in kind of your ripped jeans and your Toms and your comfy t-shirts and everything else, and I was like, yeah, this girl's wicked, you know, got on with you really well and everything else. But, you know, even though you were part of that kind of massive music machine of X Factor, you never changed, and I think that's what was so appealable, because you are so genuine.
I just think, like, as you say, we met before, I've been like doing me for such a long time that when I went on there and they were like, oh, we need to change this, I was like, no, like, in the most polite way possible. That's not me, and I know who I am. I didn't come on here for you know, for you to change anything. I kind of came on here to get to another level, which I think I achieved. And I think sometimes if you stay on there for too long, you know, are you doing you any more favours, or are you kind of just doing it for the sake of it? And I think I'm far more comfortable now than I ever was in that sort of rushing environment.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you know, you can really tell that, and also tell sort of how far you've come with the music, because I know what you said about this one is kind of all to do with We Are the album now, it's to do with kind of personal growth and you as a person and kind of your experiences. Would you say that is the main influence?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of songs on there, like Uninspired is one. It's about my like complete lack of like ability to create. I don't know why. I'm the type of person that if I don't do anything, if I don't move in the right ways, my mind just goes blank. And it did for a bit after the show. Like, I kind of thought, like, I even thought, I was like, maybe I don't want to do music anymore. It really like mixed up my like identity in so many different ways. And so there are some songs on there that talk about that and talk about the real feelings and the real things that people go through. And I honestly think that's a cool thing that I'm able to do that. Like, it's cool because most of the time you listen to someone else's album and wonder what the songs are about. These are pretty much like, here's what this is about.
Exactly. But I was going to say, I mean, I got sent your album, I've been listening to it, and it has been on in the car, so every single passenger I've had on, it's like, who's this? I want to know more, what's this all about? my favourite song personally is The Postman.
Oh, okay.
When I was listening to that, because I kind of sort of knew where it was going, but I wanted to deny it to myself because I kind of knew it might have a bit of a sad ending, and it was the song that just left me. And if you haven't heard this and you haven't heard Lucy's album, you need to go out there and make sure you are listening to this, The Postman, because when I listened to it at the end, I had goosebumps all the way down my neck, and I had tears in my eyes.
That's amazing.
And I was like, how do I explain this? But that is, you know, your ability to story tell. You know, have you always had that?
Well, I mean, I've always tried to achieve that kind of thing. I always think if you can make somebody laugh, or you can make someone cry, or basically if you can make them feel something at all, that's what's important. You need to be able to, like, get a feeling from someone. And most of the time, that when people listen to music, that's what they're trying to get. It's like, you know, you want to be changed. You're in a horrible mood, you listen to a good song, or, you know, sometimes you just want to cry.
Yeah.
So you just listen to a sad song. And with The Postman, I kind of got the idea and just thought it's quite similar to my song Tea and Toast. And for those of you that haven't heard that song, that's about an elderly couple, and it's about just loving people as much as you can. And yeah, The Postman's the same. It's just a story that I thought of, and yeah, I wanted to make people cry.
Yeah, I love. Well, you certainly made me cry, definitely. Now on the album, you know, there's such a mix as well, because you know you've got Unsinkable on there, which is just like a real, to me, it's like a real anthem, really, and it's kind of like that real sort of, it's a real powerful song because it really seems to lift your mood, and you've got a real mix of things. Was that kind of intentional?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, like I wanted to be able to, like, skip around the genres, because I think that's important to get new people on board and say, like, oh, I can also do this, or, you know, some of it sounds like this, but come and have a listen, see which one you like. And yeah, I think most of the songs are about, like, defiance and remaining you, and like it's how it's important to be yourself and stuff. So
definitely,
I'm hoping that people that listen to it are like, actually, yeah, that means something. So.
Yeah, it definitely does. And talking about your musical influences as well, because you're kind of like folk, acoustic, hip hop. I think they called it A-flop.
A-flop. I called it A-flop. And then when I was with Columbia Records, they were like, yeah, I don't know if that works.
A flop, A-flop. No, it's the way you say it. It makes sense.
Exactly.
But I mean, sort of, when you were growing up and stuff, did you have kind of influences from all of those different genres, or was it wider than that?
I think it's all sorts, really. Like, I've always loved, like, Dolly Parton and Don McLean and old sort of country and folk, but also like Black Alicious and Tupac, obviously, that Biggie, like all sorts, and mainly people whose lyrics you like. Those lyrics are rad. Like anything that makes me sort of like want to engage with it. Everything, basically, everything I hear makes me want to write a song.
Definitely. Well, listen, we're going to go on to, because this is a special edition as well for festivals. Lots of festivals coming up. You're going to be playing Stand and Calling and Elfest. What would be your ideal festival to be playing?
Just talking about this on the way here. I like festivals that aren't too big, and I like the sort of ones where you can see someone and then you'll see them later on in the weekend as well, and like just a nice vibe, something. I also like family festivals. Like, you know, there's not going to be too many wasted people.
Yeah.
Just the festivals that are more about the music rather than it being about the name.
Yeah. And more about sort of, would you say, the experience as well that you get out of it?
Definitely.
Because, I mean, it's quite important, isn't it, and sort of integral. The festivals, especially within the UK. Would you say that to make your music work as well?
I would say so. Well, it's just another place. People often don't tour in the summer because of festivals. It's just another place to be able to see people that you like. And I like the more personal ones. Yeah. I like where you like feel like you're part of something.
Yeah.
Whereas I've been to, as a punter, been to a lot of the big ones like Glastonbury and like the Isle of Wight, and like they're great festivals. The music's always great, but it's hard to meet people and stuff. That's what I like. I like when you're at a festival, everybody's the same. You're all covered in mud. You're all soaking wet. Doesn't matter what your job is. Doesn't matter. You know, you're just you and you're just at a festival.
Awesome. And how about you know, festivals, kind of, if you wanted to collaborate with somebody at a festival, who would it be? Your ultimate person?
Ultimate, always, like, without doubt, is Dolly Parton.
Really? Amazing.
I don't know what I'd do if I met her though. I'd just be like, oh my god.
really annoying.
Yeah, I would just not, I don't think I'd be able to say anything, it'd be really cringy.
Well listen Dolly, if you're watching now, make sure you get in touch because Lucy wants to collaborate with you right now. And also kind of going for the more kind of chilled out backstage experience. Now, who would you love out of everybody to hang out with? This can be any of your friends, your family, or any people that you haven't met yet that you kind of would love to meet.
I'd love to meet Ed Sheeran. I think everybody will love to meet Ed Sheeran. I'd like to talk about lyrical content.
Oh, okay. Getting nice and deep now.
Yeah,
I love it.
just like love to pick apart people's music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talking about lyrical content as well, I was find a question from one of your fans earlier on, and they were saying, look, how does Lucy kind of get the inspiration for her lyrics? I know we touched on it kind of earlier on, but maybe if you can talk just a little bit about sort of that as well.
Yeah, like, well, you could just be walking down the street really, or when I wrote The Postman actually, I was lying in the back of the car and I was just thinking, I was on the way somewhere or something, and I heard a song and it said something about a letter, and I was just like, do you know what, the importance of handwritten letters is so overlooked at the moment.
Yeah.
Just decided to write a song about that. So it's sometimes just completely out of nowhere. With Unsinkable, I was walking down the street, it started raining, and I felt like, you know, sometimes you feel like the water's just going to rise up.
Yeah.
And I was just like, we are unsinkable. I was like, I think I should go and write that song now.
I love that, but it's, you know, so it can literally come out of everyday life, whatever you're doing.
I think more than anything, it just comes out of everyday life. And if I sit at home and do nothing, I won't write anything.
No, because I suppose you come up against sometimes, because you were saying about, you know, uninspired, coming up against writer's block, and what do you do then? And sometimes you can get swallowed up by the industry being too massive. But to me, it just seems like you are so grounded that you, and at 23, you know exactly who you are, which not a lot of people can say, even in their 50s and 60s.
I think honestly you just kind of have to go through the whole thing. Like, there was a point 2013, 14, I was like, I don't even know who I am or what I'm doing. I was going to start a hot roast company up north. I swear to God, that's genuine.
And then you were going to join a photo, I think there was a photo shop as well last time I spoke to you.
A photo shop? Oh no, I actually got that job.
Oh, did you?
Doing that job, yeah, 2011 I got that job. And then, no, I meant like sort of the last couple of years I really was struggling, like I didn't really know anything.
Yeah. And
then I kind of got to 2015 and managed to screw my head back on and really sort of put my feet on the ground and say, you know, this is where I want to go.
Yeah.
And I think you have to get to that point before you can get to sort of feeling happy again.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the really nice thing about you. I mean, definitely having not seen you for quite a few years, I can see how happy you are right now, and it's lovely, you know, personal life and musically as well. So thank you so much for chatting away to us. And yeah, make sure you guys are going out there and buying the album. Of course, it is We Are, and we've already got Unsinkable. It's out there already. It's been out for ages, so you guys should have that.
Go get it.
Exactly. Do we know the next single coming out as well?
Actually, something else I was talking about on the way here. I was like, I have no idea. I'm actually gonna. I'd love to. I'm actually going off what people say is their favourite. This is my record label now, so whatever people are saying online, I'm just going to total it up and say, right, let's release that.
Cool, so make sure you are getting in touch, of course, with Lucy. As always, make sure you're following her on social media, CTRL Records as well. Tell her which song you like to be released. Make sure it's The Postman. But yeah, Lucy, thank you so much. It's been brilliant.